And we're back. Hi, everybody. Hope everybody can see me okay and hear me okay. I think I have the sound turned on. And welcome, everybody. We're back live. My name is Peter Driver from Pescari Fly here in Thomastown, Kilkenny, Ireland. And our winter show has started. I don't know if that's a celebration or a commiseration. The trout season is over, and great to see so many people on there already. Liam Long, Brennan Doolin, Darius. How you doing, Darius? Billy Boland. Great to see so many people logging on straight away. Hope everybody's well. Hope everybody enjoyed the summer. Hope everybody enjoyed the season. Colin O'Gara, Brian Kennedy, James Hope. How you doing, James? Great to see so many people back and been really looking forward to this myself. I've always loved sharing stuff with you guys and the feedback and everything. And looking forward to I don't know, in some ways, looking forward to a season. Um, how you doing, Martin? How you doing, Patrick? Tommy Lane, Mark Williams is on there. How you doing, Mark? We'll be over in Wales in this month, Mark. Hi, Elaine. Elaine Munn is on there. Great. Glad to be back, Elaine. So yeah, so look, it's been an unusual year, I can say the least. But huge thanks to everyone for all your continued support over the year that's just gone by. And because of that support, means we're back here for another year and things are still going and going good. So, thanks to all of you guys that support us here in Pescari Fly. And we're always the kind of guys that like to give something back. So I love doing these shows. I love connecting with everybody. Peter O'Connell, Aidan Gill, Jerry Morgan, Ivan there's from Austria. How you doing, Ivan? And Patrick Phelan is on there. How you doing, Patrick? So we always like giving some back here in Pescari Fly, and this is my little contribution back to you guys for all your continued support over the years. So thank you very much. I want to give a huge shout out to Josh Walker and Colin Mullally, two guys that have helped me out a lot on this show as regards doing the little videos, the intro, and stuff like that, and different things. So huge out to Josh and Colin. Huge shout out to Josh and Colin. We've got a great show lined up for this winter, guys. We've been working hard on it. Declan Smith is on there. Graham, hey Graham, and Jonas is on there with Graham. I see you guys are in the Swedish internationals there now at the moment, so I hope everything's going well for you. Best luck tomorrow in the final sessions. James Johnson's on there as well. So how you doing, James? But yeah, we got loads of shows lined up. We've been working hard on it all summer. To bring you guys some new information and really cover everything that she's been asking for me to cover. So I put it out there a few months ago that what would you like to see. So we've got wet fly nights coming up, we got grayling nights coming up, we got dry fly nights, we've got stocky nights, we've got sea trout nights, we've got salmon nights, we got pike nights, ladies night, which is ladies only night. Not that the boys can't watch, but it's going to be all targeted towards the ladies. That's going to be that one's going to have to be developed a little bit. But we got a ladies' night coming up for all those girls that like to fly fishing. There's lots of girls out there, and it's great to have you girls with us. So how you doing, Betty? Speaking of girls, Betty Hayes is on there. Betty and Michael, how you doing? Hope you guys are keeping well and enjoyed your recent trip to Thomastown. James Hope, how you doing? Paul Burke, Michael McLean, Damien O'Connor. Great to see so many people on. But we have Nymphin nights, we have dry dropper nights. We got lots to keep us going for the winter, guys and girls. We got a Coq de Leon night, which is a night I'm really looking forward to. Spent a lot of this year researching Coq de Leon, Spanish style fly tying, so we're going to do a whole night based on that. Got some really good books over the summer months. Done a lot of reading and a lot of research on it. So we're going to do a night devoted to Coq de Leon, and that's going to be a night you don't want to miss. That's coming up. We got a fry night, which is really good. We might put that on Halloween or something, maybe fright. I don't know. We'll see anyway. But we got loads of stuff coming up over the winter months, and I hope everyone sticks with us. How you doing, Dylan Roberts, Peter Wadding? How you doing, Peter? Hope you're keeping well. We got loads of stuff coming up over the winter months that's going to keep us all entertained for the winter months, and great to see everyone back on. Couple of little things here I want to say. Dave is back with his trivia tonight, so don't forget that one. We have spot prizes lined up, so we got two lovely fly boxes here with a nice Pescari Fly sticker to be filled during the winter months. Dave is going to be along later on with his trivia quiz, so keep watching out for that one. And he'll ask the question. First person up on the CDC night, Dylan Roberts. Absolutely, we can do a CDC night. Fucking great. And if anyone has any suggestions, please send them in. This is live. This is off the cuff. There's no setting up our promotions here, or whatever it may be. So please, anyone has different ideas or things they want to see, send them in to us here at PascariFly.com, and we'll cover whatever we can do between now and March, because we're going to run right till Paddy's Day. Imagine that. Hi, Dick. Dick Croker's on there. Neil Hamilton, great to have you there. Great to see you all on. So what else have we got for you? So tonight, we're looking back. Tonight's called Reflections. We're going to reflect on the last season. So we got a couple of patterns tonight that really worked a treat for us during the season. I've got notes here actually. I've got notes for this one, because I won't remember it all. How you doing, Kieran Sherlock? Graham Lonigan, Kieran Sherlock Rex. The Google is ready for Dave's question. We'll see. I think Dave might be taking a different slant on it this year, Kieran. So Hannick night. Yeah, we could do a Hannick night, Dylan Roberts. We can. We surely can. I'm going to meet Mr. Hannick in Wales, hopefully in December for the Greyland Festival, and we might get Mr. Hannick maybe to come on and do a little interview with us. Wouldn't that be nice? Dennis Goulin's on. How you doing, Dennis? Great to see you there. So tonight we got a couple of great flies for you that really worked a treat for us over the year. And you see I've got a jig hook in the voice here. So we're going to do a little nymph first. That was probably my best nymph. How you doing, Fergal? So we're going to do a jig nymph that really worked a treat for me this year. My best nymph of all season. What else have we got here? We have a lake fly that was really popular. I didn't get to the lakes much this year, but I tied a lot of flies for a lot of lake guys. And this is the one fly that came back and really had a lot of feedback. So I really want to tie that one for you tonight. We got emergers. We got two emergers. One of my specials that really worked a treat for me in the rivers. And we got our guest fly tire coming on tonight who's going to tie his top emerger for the season that done him an absolute treat as well. So that's coming up later on in the show. We have a Klinkhammer Sage that you don't want to miss. This thing for dry dropper. You trust me, whoever's on tonight, you don't want to miss that. So we'll make sure you get that one. So that's coming up. Now, a couple of little things. So Dave has, just before I start, and please be patient with me. How you doing, JJ Hayes, Michael Callaghan? Hope you're there. James, hopefully Shanglin night we can do something like that, but we'll definitely be doing a stocky night, if not two stocky nights, coming up. So Dave has a little trivia coming up, and we always give away a spot prize, as you know, for that one, right? Now, there's another prize tonight, and this is a very important prize, and I want everyone just to listen to me for a second for this one, right? I've got here 2 Airflow competition fly boxes. All right. Now these things are great fly boxes, let alone what's inside them. Okay. But inside here, how you doing, Sean O'Shea? Inside here, these things are full of flies. Okay. They're full of stocky flies for bank fishing. Now there is an absolute ton. You could be talking maybe 600 to 800 plus flies. Okay, between these 2 boxes. Now these are boxes of flies that I have tied all myself, fished over the years, some of them have never been fished, whatever else it may be inside them. So over the last couple of weeks, I have been clearing out some of my boxes and getting stuff ready for the bank season to start. I was in Adair Springs today because the bank season started today for me. So I was in Adair Springs today doing a bit of practice. But I've been clearing out some of my boxes, getting everything else. Deirdre Driver's on. The wife is on there. How you doing, Dee? Hope everyone's well in County Clare. My wife went off to County Clare this weekend to give me a bit of space to get ready for the show and stuff like that. So thanks very much, honey. Hope you're keeping well. Looking forward to having you and Tammy and Lily home tomorrow. But anyway, Jonas just said Graham Reggie Reynolds just spilled his beer. Lick it off the table, Graham. Lick it off the table. Do the old Wicklow fashion style. But anyway, so I got these 2 boxes stuffed with flies. Now, they're not tidy, okay? So someone's going to have to tidy them up a bit. But I'm going to give these things away. Now, the thing is, it's for under 18s only. I want to give these 2 fly boxes, 1 each, to someone under the age of 18 that wants to do a bit of bank fishing this winter season, okay? And how are you going to win these boxes? How are you going to win them? Or give them to your niece, nephew, son, daughter, or friend, or angling club member that's under the age of 18. All you've got to do after the show, I will put a picture of these 2 fly boxes up online. And after the show, all you got to do is share that picture and write the person's name underneath in the comment section and their age. Now, I only want first name only. I don't want a second name, and I don't want a picture, okay? Because it's under 18's competition, all right? So for child safety, things like that. Okay, so under the picture after the show, I will post these 2 fly boxes, a picture, and all you've got to do is post the person's name. For example, let's say Mary.
17, and she will go in the draw. Okay, so everyone got that? I will remind you all before I finish the show. 2 fly boxes, not tidy, so they're going to have a whole evening to tidy this up. Okay, but I got 2 fly boxes going to give them away, and Dennis Golan's asked them bank fishing. What's that? Bank of Ireland, Dennis. Bank of Ireland. You go to Bank of Ireland, you do a bit of fishing there, they might give you some free money. But anyway, we're going to give those 2 away. Okay, so really, Mark Driver's on there. Jane, how you doing? Mark's over in Galway at the moment, and but anyway, so straight after the show, under 18s only, their name, their age, and I'm going to check up and make sure that the people aren't bluffing me. That they're really. I want to see those 2 boxes go to some young person for free postage and everything. By the way, folks, and for tomorrow's YouTubers, that competition also counts because I'm not going to make the draw until Wednesday. Okay, so anybody watching YouTube video tomorrow, this stream goes up on YouTube tomorrow morning. Anybody watching YouTube tomorrow, Graham Lonigan, Dave Donovan. It's a long time now, Graham, since Dave Donovan was 18 years of age. Now that's you're going back a long way. But great to see you there, Scott, too, as well. But so make sure straight after the show, watch out for that one. It's going to go through till Wednesday, and I say I want to give those 2 fly boxes with a couple of 100 flies in each of them. Some I fished, some I haven't fished. Some, plenty of fish catchers in there. And we're going to give those away. Okay, before we get started, Fly Time, 1 or 2 little things. Please, if you're online, share the stream. Let's see how many people we can get on here and enjoy the crack with us all over the winter months. So hit that share button there now. That's also going to win you tonight's flies. So another little competition. Lots of giveaways to give away. So I got a little tub here, and I've already included some flies in it. Our guest Hire has already put some flies in it, and all tonight's flies are going to go into that little tub too. And on Tuesday, I'm going to do a draw. So last season series, we used to do a little quiz afterwards on a Sunday or a Monday, whenever I got around to it, and ask a question. But it's going to change. So whoever shares the stream, whoever comments, whoever shares and comments on YouTube, we'll go into a draw on Tuesday. Don't ask me how it's done. The wife does all that. She's the techie person. She brings it all in and configures it and does whatever else she does. And we're going to do a random draw on Tuesday. And whoever wins that draw will get the tub of flies from tonight. So please comment, come along and say hello. Share the stream, which is really important. And you could be in to win a few flies that we're trying here. And hello to all our YouTubers tomorrow. Sorry, guys, we're not live on YouTube. I don't actually have the internet strength to stream to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So we've always been doing it on YouTube. Or Facebook, should I say. So we're going to stay to Facebook. Okay? But hi to everybody on YouTube. We really appreciate you all, and great to see you all back on with us too. Hi, Graham Connolly. Great to see you here. So let's rock on with a bit of Fly Time. So, just before we do, quick little shout out there. Pat Kennedy, birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Pat Kennedy. Gianluca Piala, birthday tomorrow. Big birthday tomorrow for Gianluca. Gianluca, I know you're watching tonight, so big happy birthday to you. And if Albert Adcock is on there, Albert, are you on with us there? Say hello. I've got a little special mention for Albert Adcock, but I want Albert to make sure he's on there. So if Albert, if you're on, say hello. So folks, make yourself a cold one. Pour yourself a cold one. Make yourselves a cup of tea. We're going to be on here, which is the next hour and a half. We've got 4 or 5 great patterns to show you. And if anybody has anything to comment or say or add, please, as always, put them in the comments box, put them up there, and I will do my best to answer your questions or have a chat, a crack. It's all about a bit of fun. It's winter time. It's time for a bit of Fly Time. So what else are we going to do? Okay, so here in the voice, I have a nice little size 18 G Cook. How you doing, Muck? Good to see you on there. Good to see you on. I have a little size 18 G Cook in the voice, and I have a 3mm copper bead on that. This thing this year was a revelation for me. Coming into Thomastown competition, Thomas Ankertel, yeah, absolutely was a fast season, but great to have you all back on. And how you doing, Adele? Adele McInerney there up in Belfast. Hope all the boys are well, and Owen Cormac and all the boys are well, and Barry, Fionn, of course, as well. So great to see so many people back on. The king of the Corrib, Albert Adcock. Absolutely, Graham. I've been hearing things about Albert Adcock in the last week or so. About Albert's on there. So just before I start, folks, I know you're all getting sick. Come on, will you get on with the Fly Time? Just before I start, I just want to say congratulations to Albert Adcock.
He was the winner of the Shane Fanning Memorial Cup there recently on the Corrib. He had a trout, £4 6 ounces, and fabulous trout there at the Corrib. Shane Fanning Memorial competition there is held by the Cashel Golden Anglers there most years, and great event. Bit of crack. I wasn't there myself now, but heard it was great crack. I think Neville Howard, I think, put Albert over that trout. Rumours have it Neville might have even tied on the fly for Albert, the winning fly. But well done, Albert. Anyway, congratulations. If anybody has any other posts or congratulations they want announced this ball, by all means, contact us during the week and send them out. But well done, Albert. Anyway, well done stuff. Good fishing. Fine trout. So, right, let's get down to some flight time, folks. Okay, so say we've got a size 18 Dohaku Jig hook here. We got a 3mm count or slotted copper tungsten bead here, and we are going to start, and we're going to add on a bit of Tommy Fly tying thread. Number 6, this number is, okay, so it's number 6. This was coming into Thomastown, getting ready for the competition, really searching the boxes and stuff like that. I'm hoping to make it next week. Hi, Jim Myler. I'm hoping to make it next week. Jason Corcoran's on there from Blackwater. How you doing, Jason? We had a great old season down, and Jason doing some few masterclasses and stuff there. But I was getting ready for Thomastown, really looking for something that would really take a couple of trout for me. And this was my number one in for the whole of Thomastown tournament. Didn't do any good. We got a top 10 finish, delighted with it. All the ifs and buts as always. Very difficult competition to feature in the top 3. But this was my number one in from Thomastown and prior to it, and for the rest of the end of the season. So we got a little bit of Coq de Leon here. Now, when you're selecting the Coq de Leon for this one, it's got to be from the butt end of the feather, okay? The darker end of the feather, okay? So you see, as we get up along, we get a little bit lighter. So it's down here from this bottom section, a little bit darker. Small little Coq de Leon tail. Now, I was fishing a fly very similar to this coming up to the competition, and it was producing a couple of fish. And how it came about this one was that the rib fell off one of my previous ones. I can see you there, Gianluca. Yeah, no, I can see your text. But the rib came off one of the previous ones. I used to have a copper rib on this, and when the rib came off, I started catching a hell of a lot more fish than I was catching with the rib on. So then I tweaked it around a little bit. I used to have a pheasant tail back on it and stuff like that. Tweaked it around a little bit, and this came to be my number one nymph for Thomastown. Under the dry fly, dry dropper, and Euro nymphing. It was absolutely fantastic. So once you've secured in that Coq de Leon, we're then going to take another larger pinch of Coq de Leon. And we're going to tie that in the opposite way. Very, very simple little nymph. But this thing was deadly and has been deadly for the rest of the season. And absolutely 100% one you have to have in the box for next season. So I'm just taking my time, as you can see. Just tying in around there. Going to form that body now. Now, the one thing about doing what I'm doing here with this particular colour trade, and same with Globe-Right and stuff like that, it's a really good tip, guys and girls, that, your hands can be dirty tying flies, and even unseeable dirt for us, oils and grease and stuff like that. And I've found it before, particularly with, say, these light chartreuses or yellows. I wash the hands. So if I'm tying a fly like this, wash your hands beforehand, tie the flies, do whatever you have to do with them, 10, 20, whatever. And then go on to something else. That if you've got any kind of dirt on your hands, it actually interferes with that real UV and the intensity of colour. So I'd always recommend you wash the hands, especially if you're using Globe-Right or anything like that. Okay, so form your body. Once the body's formed, we're going to whip fish off that one and take that thread out of the way. Okay, now I've showed this fly to a few guys, and over the Thomastown, Dave Donovan, my partner, Mark Driver, a few of them all saw it. Darius Simkis, I showed you Darius and Marius one day. He's up here in the shop. And how'd you guys get on after today? Peter Wadding, Jason's now, he wouldn't get away with being an 18-year-old, and now Peter. But I showed how'd you guys get on a dare actually after today? Darius. I hope he's done well. I've seen these guys getting a few fish. So what we're going to do is we're going to catch that extra bit of cockleon that we tied in, and we're going to pull it over the top, okay, and trap it in it exactly on the top. So as you can see what I've done there, okay. So basically, when I tied this fly first, it was very similar to an onion bag fly I tied on YouTube videos before, and it had a copper rib, pheasant tail back on it. But what I found was that the rib was, because the body is so tight and hard, the rib was falling off after a couple of fish, but the pheasant tail was left there and stuff. And but once the rib fell off, I was getting more and more fish. I was actually the fly was fishing much better. So I started to use under 18 stone. Yeah. You're not too far off the under 18 stone there, Jason. But I found, so I started thinking about, what's more robust and stuff. Cockleon is a very robust material, and tied like this. Now, it's not going to last forever, absolutely correct. If you were to rib it, it'd last much longer. But trust me, ribbing it, the fly is not as effective as it is without rib. Okay, so a little bit of cockleon up the back. We're then going to take a little bit of Ice Dub by Hairline Black Peacock, and we're going to put a little small pinch of that in behind the bead. Take out a small bit. Less is more, as always, when we're doing double. Or so I always put on hand cream before the show, long before the show, to try and get rid of the roughness, but it doesn't help with the fly time. A little bit of Black Peacock in there behind the bead. Whip finish it. And there you have it, folks. The most simplest, but I tell you one thing, and straight up, that was my number one nymph this season. That thing caught me more fish, caught every fish for me for the Thomastown competition, caught an absolute ball of fish in practice and ever since. So simple, but it is so effective. Okay, couple of hot tips there. Wash the hands, clean hands, very important, because if you don't have clean hands, that body will not glow as much as it should. Cockleon for the back there, it will last. You will have no problem catching 10, 15 fish on that fly before it falls apart. Okay, so just tie plenty of them. Haven't done there. But I've ribbed that and everything else. Doesn't catch as many fish as it does tied in the format I've just shown you. Okay, so that was my number one nymph this season. And it wasn't it. I don't think it was a season for me personally. I don't know how all you guys and girls felt. Correct me if I'm wrong. Love to see some comments coming in there how you felt the season went for you. But definitely wasn't the most prolific season I ever had. And I had moments. I think that big cold spell there in May really fecked up the early start of the summer, killed the spring fishing, and we got a bit things going in coming in there to July and stuff like that. But definitely the back end of the season was didn't christen it at all. Dave Furlong, how you doing, Dave from County Wexford? Hope everything went well for you guys on the Slaney this year. I haven't christened it. I've loads of info I haven't christened, but sure I might think of a name for it someday, somewhere along the way. And there's so many flies out there now, and so many names on different flies. I'm sure someone thought of something like that beforehand. Very similar to a lot of patterns, but sure, look, we might come up with a name from the show, and we'll see how it goes. But so the season was up and down an awful lot. I found the last back of the season, May was freezing as well. Dennis saying May was freezing. How was September on the lakes for you, Dennis? I know Dennis there had a decent mayfly. I've seen some of your mayfly fishing, and Graham Lonning was on there. The sedge season was pure. And Robbie Berry there, yeah, absolutely wasn't a great fishing on the dry fly. It really was a strange season, and I don't think 2021 is going to be one we're going to look back on and say, God, that was a fantastic season for Joe. But let's hope, folks, in a couple of months' time, we'll be all back on the rivers and lakes, and we'll be in for a cracking 2022 season. So moving on from there, we're going to head on to what are we going to? We're going to do a little emerger. So we got two emergers tonight. One I'm going to tie, and one our guest tire is going to tie. Ricky Croak there, we had a great yeah, Ricky, you guys doing well on the Nora, all right? You got some great fishing, yourself and your dad Dick. Great to have you on there, and hope to see you next week. Deirdre Delaney's on there. How you doing, Deirdre? Great to see you back on, and I hope you're looking forward. Deirdre, we're going to have a ladies' night. We're definitely going to have a night focused towards ladies. Sorry, I dropped something there, folks. Brilliant, Neil. Great to hear it. Great to hear it. Yeah, there's Gianluca's on there. The number 9 was his best season. Yeah, Damien O'Connor, great suggestion. I done it. I put UV over it. I UV that fly. Nah, Forget about it. I know what it is. Just didn't work. Didn't work. Got it, 1, 2 fish on it. Switch off it. Put it back on that pattern. Fucking nail and throw every cast. So yeah, Dennis is right there. The season's not completely over, folks. There still is some spots that have some fishing left in it. So there still is a chance for people to make the last bit of a memories for the trout season. But for me, it's once the end of September comes here in the north and the places I fish, I'm pretty much over. But we have two emergers on tonight. So one I'm going to do, and one that our guest hire is going to do, who's going to come up after this one. But this emerger was an absolute revelation for me as well. So I'm just going to pick out some flies here for this one. So some hooks, should I say. Don't forget, all those flies are going into that little tub. Everybody that comments on the show or shares the show will go into a draw on Tuesday, including our YouTubers that'll come on tomorrow, and they will be in line to win all the flies. So don't forget to share that, and don't forget our main competition tonight, which is giving away those 2 airflow competition boxes full of flies. Okay, it's going to happen after the show. I'm going to put up a picture, and all you got to do is share the picture, and I want you to comment underneath the young person's name and age that you know, either your son, daughter, cousin, friend, or fellow club member that wants to win those 2 box flies. Only under 18s are going to win those flies. Okay, so don't forget that's coming up after show. So in here, I have put a 611 size 16 dry fly hook, and I'm going to attach my Mascari Kevlar thread on. Jerry Morgan was on there saying Sheelan is very poor. Ray McCabe's same as quiet season and load. So I think everyone can agree that wasn't our greatest season ever, folks. But hey, look at this. Best thing about a season, it comes and it goes. There's a new one on the way, and let's get ready for it. Let's do some fly tying and get ready for it. So I've just attached some Scary Fly Kevlar thread, and now I'm going to tie in one of these little hackles. So this is a done saddle that I have, an unusual done saddle that I picked up somewhere along the way, and we're going to strip the down off it. We have AWOL Winter League starting up soon. I was down in Adair Springs today doing a little bit of practice for it. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to meeting up with everyone. So all I've done there now is I've snipped away the center part of the hackle, as you can see. Okay. We don't want all of that going in there, but we want just a nice equal amount. I might snip away just a little bit lower. Just put your scissors in there, push down along, and snip away. About there is fine. Okay, this was a little emerger I tied during the season, and by golly, I had some amount of fish on it. Tied in on top, and just pull it back to roughly around where you cut. Okay, secured in. Don't go the whole way to the eye. Just on the bend of the hook. Always cut back at an angle. So then when I use my thread, it'll taper down that last little bit of waste, so our body doesn't have any humps or bumps on it. A little bit of crap underneath there. Let's take that out of the way. So we have a lot of guest tires, a lot of tackle talk. Some weeks we'll have tackle talk. Some weeks I did James, yeah. Some weeks we'll have tackle talk. Some weeks we'll have guest fly tires. Some weeks we'll have both. We have loads of new people on this year. Some great shows lined up throughout the season. Make sure you all stay tuned and watch it. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to split those little fibers using my Kevlar. Try and get it as equal as possible. This takes a little bit of time. Just making sure they're split as even as possible. Figure eight your way through. And just for the moment, just leave them as they are. Don't have to get it absolutely 100% perfect for a moment, but you can see what I've done there. I'm not 100% perfect, but but I'm gonna work on that now in a few minutes once we get back up. But just have that little bit of work done there. Okay, now for a butt here, we're gonna put on a little bit of Unimylar Pearl size 16. So anyone that is on with us tonight that hasn't been on with us before, we're live here in Biscari Fly, my little fly tying shop, and we are going to be live now right through till March. Right through to Paddy's weekend, we're going to be live. There might be an odd little weekend here where the wife might convince me to go out on a Saturday night or something, and I won't be able to make it. But that won't happen too often. It'll be just probably around the Christmas period. But we're going to be live here 90% of the Saturday nights. So I'm just forming a very small little butt on that fly. Yeah, we'll be live right through till the trout season starts again for me here in Patrick's weekend. So lots of great shows coming up. So make sure you tune in and don't forget to contribute. Say hello, say hi. If you've got any advice or tips for anybody out there that's starting or looking to get into fly tying, shoot across your messages on the live stream there, and we'll give you a shout out. Okay, little bit of a pearl tip on it there. Now, what we're going to use here for the body is a bit of heron. Okay, a little bit of heron. Good man, Dick. How you doing, Martin O'Rourke? Great to see you back there. So a little bit of heron here, and this is one of the primary feathers. And I'm going to take off one of these here. And we're just going to tie in the tip. Just trying to get that in underneath the hook. Quite fragile to start, so just be patient here with me. If it breaks, it breaks. If you hear me cursing after it breaks 3 or 4 times, don't be offended in any way whatsoever. This is live, and things like that do happen. Okay, a little bit of Zap-A-Gap here. This is what's going to secure it in for me. Okay, this is great stuff. We have this in our shop. Fantastic fly tying glue. A little bit of Zap-A-Gap just to help secure in that feather as I tie it up. It's a dry fly. We don't have ribs or like that to secure it, so I'm going to glue it straight to the hook. Couple of seconds. I always like to kind of give it a little dab with my fingers, take any surplus off that doesn't need to be there, so it doesn't change the color of the material I'm putting on or whatever. Eugene Fagan, how you doing, Eugene? Hope you're keeping well and life is good for you. So don't be afraid now, folks, if this thing breaks once or twice in me, but I'll try my best to do it right the first time. Grab it with hackle pliers and then slowly start rotating that vise, making sure you're in touch and turns up the body. A little merger pattern I came across now this year, and it was absolutely worked a treat. That thread is just undoing a little bit as I unwind, so wind it up there. Just take your time, no panic. So we have a little heron body on that. Secure it off there, a couple of turns of thread, pressure on the thread, take the pressure off the hackle pliers. And it slipped out with me. That's okay. As you can see, our glue is working. Stuck it halfway, hadn't stuck it the whole way yet. That's okay. Catch it back on with our hackle pliers and make our way back up there again. This time secure it. Sorry, my hand is getting in the way there. The camera. Secure it in. Pressure on the thread. Pressure off the hackle pliers. And nope. We'll get it right this time, folks. That's the joys about live fly tying. Back up there again. I know exactly what happens. The thread was on the wrong way. So, there we go. Secured in. Pressure on the thread. Pressure off the hackle pliers. And take away the waste. Just something that's popped up on one of my screens there, folks. If you bear with me for a second, I just want to get rid of it. Now, So once we've got that much done, we are then going to take a bit of pheasant tail. Your normal natural pheasant tail. Take a decent enough scalp there. It must be probably 10 or 12. And awkwardly enough, we're going to tie that in there up underneath. Get it in from the side. It has to be directly under the fly, so twitch it, move it, do whatever you got to do to make sure that's directly under the fly. For one of our future stages now. In a second, take away any waste out of our way. Those little tips. That's enough there now for a moment. Okay, now we're going to do something here. We're going to make a little mix. Okay, so we got some muskrat dubbin here. I'm going to tease out a little bit of muskrat. I love muskrat dubbin. It's great dubbin. Has a natural oils to it. Very soft. I'm just going to place that on the table in front of me, okay? Then I'm going to take an iron blue, or a blue dun, should I say, kind of cocky hen cape here, and I'm just going to select medium-sized feather off of that. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip down the down, and I'm going to trim off these barbs, okay? Hackle fibers, whatever you call it. And I'm going to mix them into the dubbin now. I'm not able to move the cameras around that much. I'm not that good at techie to show you a visual of this. So basically what I'm doing, I've got the muskrat dubbin line on the table in front of me, and I'm just trimming off that stem. Trimming off the stem with those hackle fibers into the muskrat dubbin. And I'm going to mix it. Just pull it apart and mix it. So basically I'm going to have muskrat dubbin mixed with hackle fibers. See? Thanks, Peter. Peter McVeigh is on there with us tonight. So mix those up. And there we have it. That's our double mixture, okay? So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to split my thread. Didn't split it properly that time. Just using a dubbin needle, split the clever, and I'm going to take my bit of dubbin and I'm going to put it into that and spin it. Once I have it in there, I'll spin it up. Hi, Kieran Sherlock. Yeah, I do indeed. They sure can be deadly, Kieran Sherlock. You're very welcome, James Hope. Yeah, we can do some jig. We'll have a streamer night as well this year. We might ask our streamer specialist that was on with us last year to come back on this year and give us some hot tips again from his season gone by. Yeah, we surely will cover Jighead streamers. We have a long way to go to March, folks. So it's going to be we're going to get to cover a lot of stuff. So basically what I'm doing, I'm spinning it here, as you can see. Just taking my time spinning it. I know a lot of people had a lot of things they wanted to see this winter, and you know, as I said, we have a long way to go between now and March. So be patient with us. A lot of things are coming up, and so basically, I'm just going to wind up that, and as I wind it up, just stroke it back a little bit. Okay, this is not the most prettiest fly you'll ever see, but I can tell you one thing: this catches trout. Okay, so once you get up there, roughly around where we had those hackle tips that we added in the start fly, catch them. Bring them straight up and start putting a turn or two directly in there underneath them. Between the hackle tips and the eye hook. Okay, just packing it all in there. Make sure everything's well tied in. Everything's nice and tight. Bring your thread up then, up to the eye, and secure it all in. Looks like a nice mess, doesn't it? We're going to sort that out now in a minute, folks. Our dubbin brush. Brush up all them hackles. the bits of dubbing and expose that bottom half of the yoke. I'm going to put a little bit of grey marker on my tying thread, my Kevlar, just so we don't have any white showing out there. Thanks, Paul Whelan. Great to see people contributing there, giving advice. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to catch all the dubbing, stroke it all down, well, all up, I suppose. I got the fly upside down at the moment, but I'm going to stroke all that up, and I'm going to do a figure of 8 to get everything on the upside hook. And then just give it another turn at the eye. Okay, so that gets everything up in position. I then take my pheasant tail, that's tied directly in underneath. That's why it has to be directly underneath. And we pull it up like so. Tied in up on the underneath. Hope everybody's getting this. Hope everybody can hear me okay. And see the video okay. So a couple of turns there to secure everything in. We got very little space there, folks, so don't be in too much of a hurry to get it finished. Don't get too excited. Hold back your pheasant tail, get in there with your fine point scissors and clean away that eye. Like so. Okay. Hold everything into place. A couple of more turns for good luck up there at the head just to tidy things up. And that's looking pretty tasty now, I can tell you. Whip finish tool. Get in there and whip finish that. And there you have it. That was my emerger from this season. That caught me countless fish. Absolutely worked a gem for me throughout the entire season. Free rising fish, bring it up to the blind. It was simple. Little bit, it's not a tricky tying, but you've just got to be gentle with it. Okay, and I'm not the most gentlest of persons, so my big old shovel hands, but so it takes me a little bit longer. But just take, thanks Kieran Sherlock. Kieran Sherlock, see, been sticking up, and Graham Longan sticking up some great fly patterns there over the last couple of weeks. Fantastic tying, lads, well done. But very simple little emerger pattern, but my God, that thing was sweets to throw this year. Between that now and the last little nymph now, they'll be my 2 number 1s from this season. Tied that in an olive version as well. Was okay. Got trout on it. But with that kind of bluey dun grey version on it, even into the back end of the trout season, was an absolute ripper. Worked really well in low water, streamy, riffly edges of margins and stuff like that. Hi, Tony. How are you keeping? John Shaw, thanks a million. Sean Maher, thanks, Sean. Thanks, Sean Maher, silver medalist there this year in Thomastown. But no, brilliant pattern and a great emerger. Now, moving on to another emerger. There was another emerger. Will I say better than my one? Iffy. All right, I don't know if I could say it was better, but it was certainly good. This one was tied by our very own Mark Driver. He tied an emerger. And I remember he rang me one evening coming into Thomastown competition when we were on the river, really getting some practice on the Kings and Nor. And he says, I have it. And I said, have what? And he says, I have the fly. And I said, all right, tell me about it. And he said, I tied an emerger and he couldn't keep trout off it. And in fairness to him, it cost himself and Roger Fowler most of their fish in their session on the Kings. I fished it myself in the Kings on practice, and I must admit it was tasty. Fished on the Nor quite a bit as well. In the back half of the season was very good, and I asked Mark kindly, would he come on and tie the fly for us all here? And he agreed to do so. And during the week, Mark popped in and tied a fly. So we're going to put on Mark's tying of that fly now. Hope he's all hang around to watch it. It is an absolute belter. We're going to be back after Mark with lake fly and sedge clink that you don't want to miss. Hope everybody's enjoying the show, and if you have any questions, please don't be afraid to shout boy. Don't forget to share the stream and get as many people on as possible. It really means a lot. And great to be back live, and I hope everyone's having a great Saturday night. So okay, let me just get clicking here, and I'll get you on to Mark, and I will see you all in a few minutes.
Hi guys, Mark here from Scary Fly. This evening I'm going to tie a little golden olive emerger that worked very well for me on the River Nore and Kings River this late summer. Um, I was working on a pattern over the summer with my fishing partner, and we found it to be a very effective pattern and catching us a lot of fish, especially in the flats leading up into runs. So in the vise I have a size 16 611 to hack hook. It's a nice curved hook. It's a light gauge hook, perfect for dry flies that you want that bit of curved body on it. So we have our Biscari Fly Kevlar thread, and we're just going to work our way right down to the back of the hook. Now we're going to use some Polish quills. This is a golden olive. You can get it here in the shop. Lovely to work with, nice colours, nice and strong. I'm just going to tie in the head of that there. And we're going to bring it down. This fly likes to sit down in the water, so we're just going to bring it down so there's plenty of the body going to be sitting in that film of the water. The trout be able to see. I'm just going to make sure we have a nice even body. Up along before we bring our quill up. So we're going to go anti-clockwise. And we're going to touch and turn our strip quill as we come up the body. Try not to leave any gaps so that the underbody comes through. Unless you wanted to put a hot spot in, maybe on the butt, you could put a bit of glow bright or UV reflective thread, maybe in a green or an orange maybe, and just switch over to your Kevlar and leave a little bit of gap at the start with your quill. Sometimes can be very effective also. So that's all locked into place. So we're going to use now, just to straighten that a little bit more, we're going to use a little bit of Solvarel's tin hard resin. This just to strengthen the body. Polish quills can be strong, but after a couple of fish they can start to break and fall apart, so by adding that little bit of protection we can make the fly last a little bit longer and get a few more fish. That's it there. So we just get our UV pen and we cure the body, cure the resin all around, make sure it's all cured. You don't want any air getting in there and cracking the resin on you. Now after that we get our CDC, and I normally use 2 plums. I wouldn't go any more. It just bulks up a little bit too much. Normally I tie this in size 18 or 20 during the summer months when I was using it. I did practice with some 16s. Just tying 16s is even just a bit easier to see free. So we're just gonna, where we finished with the quill, we're just gonna tie that in, and we're just gonna go back 1 or 2 little turns on top of the quill, and we'll just tighten out that body. Work our way right back. Now we're going to get some of our hare's ear dubbin. Nice spiky hare's ear dubbin, and we're just going to put that on nice, not too hard onto the, not too tight. Leave room to brush it out for that bit of spikiness that we're going to look for. Just put a small little bit more in there. Now, after this, before we pull the CDC over, I like to add in a little bit of flash. So the idea here is just to add in a little bit of flash on either side. just gives, I found it worked a little bit better when it had a bit of flash in it. Just leave them long for the moment, and what we'll do then is, once we have the fly finished, we can shorten it up. So we just pull, keeping that flash back one hand, grab all the CDC, pull it over, simply like that, and just do a tuck knot then to get that in. It'll all be a little bit, but, and what we do then is just lift up the wing and do a few turns in front. That'll just help pivot that wing up that little bit, which will help it stand out on the water in front of you when you're casting it out, so you'll be able to see it as it's coming down those riffles, or that run, and watch out for the takedown. Yeah, that's simply it. So what I like to do with the flash then is just to determine where to cut it, just bring it back as far as where you started the strip krill at the bend of the hook, and cut it there. Same on this side. You can make them a little bit shorter, a little bit longer if you want, but there's no need to go too long. What we do then is we're going to use our brush, and we're going to brush down that little bit of hair dubbing to get that little spiky effect. Just make it a little bit shorter. Perfect. And there you have it. A lovely golden olive little emerger. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of the night. Make sure to try out this fly, get a few tied up in your box, have them ready for next season, for those nice warm summer evenings, or if we get a bit of heat in the spring, they will definitely work for you. Enjoy. Thanks for watching.
No sound. Sound is back on. Well, I thought I'd do it once, at least once this season anyway. I did it a couple of times last season. Once this season, I said I'd have to, it would happen. So, and I have a big sign here above my head, turn on sound. It's stuck here to the ceiling, and it's I'm back on. So I dropped the screen, or dropped my face a little bit below the live button. The wife texted me, said that the live button was blocking my view a bit. So I'm back on there. But anyway, it's live. Things happen, folks. Things happen, and that's the joys of being live. So I hope it's going to all hear me now okay. So we're going to move on with a bit of fly tying, and we're going to do our sedge clink. This thing was something that we used a lot for dry dropper this season, and it was absolutely fantastic. Tommy Lane there, picture and all sound, Peter. But I hope he's going to all hear me okay now. But anyway, so we're gonna move on to this one. We got a great lake fly coming up after this, before we finish. But this is definitely one for those dry dropper fans. They want to see this one, and definitely want to have a ton in the box. I got a size 12 301 Dahaku hook in the vise there, and I'm just adding on a bit of Kevlar. Don't forget our competitions tonight, folks. I got those those two boxes of flies to give away. That'll start straight. It's the whiskey. I'm not on the whiskey tonight, Luke or Gianluca. So Gianluca's on the Jack Daniels tonight. I'm on the Tim Sullivan. Absolutely, all habits they are. But it's good to have a bit of fun. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm not afraid to admit it. It's all about a bit of fun, folks. So this thing was dry dropper fly, our hair. Dave says the question is coming up soon. So don't forget, we have that coming up, folks. You can win a couple of fly boxes for yourselves and a Piscari Fly sticker to fill for the winter months. We have the two Airflow competition boxes stuffed with flies, hundreds of flies in each, to give away to an under 18s. Some young person that's into fly fishing that wants to do a bit of bank fishing this winter are going to win these. That starts after the show. Don't forget, in order to win that, you have to share the picture, share the post that I'm putting up after the show, and underneath the post, you've got to comment on the main post on Piscari Fly page the person's name, only their first name, I don't want their second name, and their age. And on Wednesday or Thursday, I will do a draw of who's going to win these two boxes. I got two of these to give away. These are boxes full of flies that I've fished with, some I haven't fished with, all tied by me personally. There's hundreds in each. They got to be tidied up a bit. So don't forget that's coming up as well. All right. So, and in order to win tonight's flies, all you got to do is comment, like, or share the stream, and you will be in a draw again Tuesday probably. I'll get around to it to do the draw because our YouTubers only come in tomorrow. You'll get a chance to win all of tonight's flies. So we're going to put in our post here first. Okay, so I've got some white Piscari Parapost here, and I'm going to take a snip of that. This thing was unbelievable. As I always say, a dry dropper, when you're the dry fly for a dry dropper setup should achieve three things. Okay, firstly, we got some pink, the same post here as well, all available on our website, piscarifly.com. It should achieve three things. So, firstly, it should be able to support the weight of what it's carrying underneath, i.e., the 3 mil or 2.5 mil or 2 mil bead, whatever it may be. It has to be visible, so you have to be able to see it at distance, so you can notice those subtle little takes. We will do a dry dropper night, by the way, folks. And James, all you got to do is comment afterwards, and you could win the prize. Where was it? So yes, it must be visible, so you're able to see it, and most importantly, it must be able to catch a fish. Now, this thing certainly achieved all three aspects through the season. Okay, so what I've got here is I've got two of those segments of Piscari Fly Parapost, and I've got one segment of pink. We'll put the three together. Now, it's very important when you tie this in, the pink goes on the bottom and the two whites go on top, and tie it in like so. Couple of turns on top, catch the whole thing and pull it directly up off the hook, and begin to form your post. So what I found this year, now I tie paraposts with, or say, clinks and different things for dry dropper with different color posts. It's very important to have different color posts because on different days, different colors will stand out to you. But what I did find this year is that having a white middle wrapped around with a particular color can be very productive and very visible. Okay, so that's why we put the pink underneath, the white in the middle, and when we pull the whole thing up and when we finish the fly, basically we'll have a post with white in the center and a light pink kind of outskirt for that post. Okay, gotta trim it down a little bit, get it out of my way. I tend to moisten up my fingers, give it a bit of twist, and that'll keep that post out of the way for a minute. Bring down your tying thread. Okay, this fly has a little bit of work to it, folks, but trust me, it's worth it. This thing was absolutely phenomenal this year. Okay, here I got a bit of goose feather, and I've dyed this. Hi, James Fagan from County Wicklow. Great to have you on there. Dave's just asked his questions there, folks. So anyone who wants to win those two fly boxes, the first correct answer in, according to Dave, will win those fly boxes. And he is asking, Albert Adcock won the Fanning Cup last weekend on a cock robin. According to Mick Farrell's book, A Passion for Trout, what's the tying of the cock robin's body? Great question, Dave. So, Dave, you will let me know who is the winner of that. So basically what I got is I got this goose feather here, this goose wing feather, and I've dyed it Pickwick, okay? And I'm going to take 2 strands of that, and I'm going to tie it in here for the body. Secure it in, right down to the bend of the hook, and bring my thread back up towards that post. Now, post is going to get away in a bit, so just keep it moistened up, keep it out of the way for a second, all right? And we're going to take those 2 strands. Now, I forgot a step. Back to our Zappa. Zap-A-Gap glue. We got to secure this in again. There's going to be no rib on it, so we need to just put a little dusting of glue on that. Of course, you can find all this glue and stuff available on our website, or you can always get into your car someday, folks, and call down to us here. All right, so once we got that in there, we are going to wind up those 2 fibers, just keeping that parapost out of the way. Now, I should have went to the hacker pliers long before now, but I'm just realizing I'm running out of room for my fingers. Wind it up the body. And then securing. So we have a great winter of flight time coming. We have lots of special guests, been working on it all summer. We even have some tackle talk from the riverbanks, and lots, as I say, lots of special guests coming on. So make sure to tune into us every Saturday night. We're going to be here every Saturday night. We have a fantastic Christmas show lined up this year as well. I hate to be talking about Christmas too early, but we do have a really good Christmas show lined up. One not to be missed. So next thing I want to add in is a bit of orange flat closed cell foam. This is the Scary Fly stuff we have in the shop as well. And I'm going to take a little strip off of that, maybe about 3 mil, 2, 3, 4 mil, that kind of size. Take a little strip of it. An inch or 2 will do you fine, as you can see. Point off the end. Now this thing floats like crazy, but we're also going to show you how to make it float absolutely super. So put it in there. It's got to be the length of the hook, okay? Just a slight bit longer than the length of the hook. Trim it off. Hold it in place, make sure, right? No, a bit too long. Take it back another little bit. Hold in place. No, still a little bit too long, so trim it again. Get it right. Just barely past the bend of the hook. That's where I want this, okay? And secure it into place. Like so. Now say, this clink is for dry dropper. Now, I tied this for a few lake guys as well. And Dave O'Donovan's on there, and he says, congratulations to Robert Flaherty. Well done, Robert. You're the winner. And your fly boxes and sticker will be off to you in the post on Monday morning. And we will hopefully see a picture of some nice full fly boxes by the end of the winter tying sessions from yourself. Lots of more prizes to give away over the shows, of course, folks. Every weekend we're going to be giving away loads of prizes and little spot prizes, and it's all just to say thank you to all you guys and girls for supporting us here on Piscari Fly over the last couple of months, and we really do appreciate it. Everyone is, and you're all your business. So it's our little way of saying thank you. So I got a little bit of natural deer hair here, and I'm going to select a small pinch of that. Trim it off, throw it out of the way. The old table is getting fairly messed up already. Not going to stack it. I want to keep those natural kind of tapered tips, and I'm going to tie that in on top of the. And make sure it's on top. Tie it in there on top of the foam. I'm still holding on to the foam and the deer hair, by the way, as I'm starting to trim up and clean away. Now it takes a little bit of time to trim this up and clean it away. Okay, take your time. Don't cut the post out of the way. Once I start making it a bit tidier, I can let go of that. Blow it away. I'm going to pull down my post, catch your post, pull it down out of the way, and then it exposes all those ends of the deer hair. tidy them all up. Couple of more thruns of thread in there just to secure them in. And as you can see, we have a nice deer hair wing. Just pulling that post a little bit more forward. Okay, deer hair wing in over that foam body. Thanks, Robert. Appreciate that. Ballandarin olive and dark claret is another good option for a cock robin. Cock robin's a great fly. Had some great success on a cock robin. And for our we have coming up very soon in the coming weeks, we have a wet fly night for lakes and rivers. Two separate nights. One is for lakes and one is for rivers. We got some top experts coming on to talk to us about loch style fly fishing and pulling and stuff like that. And we got some cracking lake fly apartments, and we might do a cock robin dabbler those nights. So that's coming up in the coming weeks, so keep an eye out for that one. What I'm doing here now is I got some natural CDC, and I'm just making sure I'm stacking all the tips together. About five plumes of CDC. Pull them all together, keeping all the tips in line. Again, hold your power post out of the way and get that CDC in there on top. But I was saying, I tried this for a few loch style guys during the summer months as well. They were fishing small stages, small little small little smuts and stuff like that, and they wanted a fly that they could, use as an indicator, something that would show them if a trout rose to the fly, the small little submerged smut or something. And I tied them a few of these, and they actually found these to be fantastic. They didn't just work on rivers, they actually caught a lot of fish on lakes as well. So definitely a fly. So again, hold the post out of the way. Don't be afraid to pull it down out of the way. It'll be fine. We'll pull it back up there when we need it. And make sure we trim away and clean all that CDC out of the way that we don't need. Fix our wing. So now we've got our wing in place. Okay, so we got the orange foam with the deer hair underneath and the CDC on top. Excuse me. Now this thing floats like crazy. You're going to see it, but man, oh man, trout are going to come up for two. Trust me. Even on a size 12, I wouldn't be saying, like, you can try and tie it on a size 14 if you want, folks. But on a size 12, that's pretty okay too. It's definitely going to do a job. Now we're going to add in a little bit of grizzle. So we take our grizzle saddle here. We get the right size. Now if you don't have a really good judgment of the size of this fly or the hackle you need to use, use a hackle gauge. For me, it's a little bit easier. I do this 7 days a week, so pretty much by just looking at the hackle, I can say, yep, that's pretty much suited. Or you can actually just add it to the fly. No, that's too small. Add it to the fly just like I did there, and it will give you a fair indication of how big you want it. This one's perfect. Okay, so strip down the waist piece off the butt and add it in there at the head of the fly, between the eye and the post. Okay, this is the way I do my clinks, by the way, folks. I know we'll how you doing, Alan, in Scotland. Great, yep, that'll be a great night, Alan. And this is a free for all, folks. This is all about you guys too, so whatever you want to see, we'll keep doing, keep tying, and we'll keep bringing on the specialists as best we can. So please shout across if there's anything in particular you want to see or what you want to do. But anyway, I was saying, this is the way I do clinks and the way I do the kind of the whole thing. Everyone has their own particular way, but this is just the way I learned from the start, and I've always continued to do the same. So hold never know the way. Couple of wraps there to get that hackle up the post. One or two will do fine. Secure it in up there. And that's ready to rock now in a few seconds. I got a little bit of a hair mix here. Oh, popped out. A little bit of a hair mix here with several little bits of Spectra Flash. One of my own little mixes. Just a little bit of hair dubbing and And I'm going to add that in there just to tidy up everything before we do our hackle. Up underneath, make sure everyone's well clean, well hidden, all that work we did beforehand. Leave the thread up near the eye. Now, I want to put a hackle on this, so bear with me for a second, folks. Not too bad. We can start wrapping that hackle. One turn directly under the other, never above. Always working your way down towards the hook and the fly. We got a good 10 turns in there, as you can see. And I go another one for the crack. Using the stem of the feather, I put the thread on the stem of the feather and slide that thread up along the stem right into place, right at the eye of that hook. And that secures in. One turn, one even half turn. How you doing, Sean? We could do a duck fly night, Sean. Yeah, absolutely. How you doing, Jerry? Jerry's on there as well from Scotland. Meat man living in Aberdeen. Boobies. Do you know what, Dennis? Absolutely. I like boobies too. Nothing wrong with a good boobie. We are, during our stocking night, actually, we have a very special live guest for our stocking night lined up, who's going to talk all about boobies and show us everything we need to know about boobies. So make sure you stay tuned for that one, Dennis. Yep, absolutely. Boobies is going to be one of our nights here. So once a couple of turns there, I can then take away my waist hackle and I hold everything up out of the way as best as I can. Another turn or two of thread right at the head, and see we get that hackle sitting up beautifully, just exactly where it needs to be. And yeah, Brendan, we are going to be doing a sea bass night as well. Saltwater. So we have the list of nights. We got 20 odd weeks here, folks, to cover, and we're going to be covering as much as we can. Now with a hackle or with my whip finish here, I'm just going to work my way up in there. One or two turns is enough for that Kevlar, and a good pull back, a good tight pull back, gets everything locked in and secure. You can put a little bit of varnish on that now as well, and that thing is not going anywhere. But we have loads of nights coming up. We have sea bass nights, we have sea trout nights, we have salmon nights, we have pike nights. We've lined up everything. We've really done a lot of Mark Williams. Yeah, how you doing, Mark? I am going to the at the end of the month, Mark. It'd be great if we could meet up. I'd love to meet yourself and Terry, and have a bit of a chat and a crack, as we always do. So we'll be there, I think, at the end of the month. What I'll do, Mark, is I will text you of when we're going out for a little bit of practice. And if yourself and Terry were free to come up and join us, myself and Dave, for a bit of an old banter, I really love that. It's great to be able to meet up with our fellow anglers again. So that's the Sedge clink, and I'm going to just trim off that post now. And as you can see, we have our white post with our little bit of a pink surrounding. We have our foam body, our CDC and deer hair wing. And I could tell you one thing now, folks. That thing caught me some amount of fish this year. It was absolutely brilliant. Dave Donovan's on there now, Mark. So we're going to 28th and 29th of October. So it'd be great if... just kidding. Oh, so you don't like boobies, Dennis? I heard you were a booby specialist, Dennis. But I wonder who it is. Yeah, well, I'm going to save that one now. I'm going to save that one who it is. But we do have someone very interesting coming up for our stocking night that's going to be helping us out. Someone who certainly knows his stuff. So watch out for that one, Dennis. But there we go, folks. That Sedge clink there is an absolute fantastic fly. I tell you one thing now. A little bit of tying in it. It's not up on the website because I don't want people ordering 20, 30 something. There's a bit of tying in it, but nonetheless, look, if anyone wants some for next season, by all means, give us a shout on pescarifly.com and we'll get you geared up for next season. But that thing caught me some out of fish this year. And absolutely, Tony, you're dead right. That thing would float the Titanic coming down the fast, ripply water. Not only will trout come up and burst it, but it will support whatever you need to hold underneath. But that fly is not finished yet, folks. Thanks, Sean. That fly is not finished. Okay, in order for that fly to be super effective, All right, we need it to really float, and I mean really float. So what we do, take the fly out. We spoke about this last year, okay? And we put into our little tub, like so. I want to say it goes into my little dry fly tub. I do this with all my dry fly, by the way, especially, and I mean especially, my dry dropper flies. Okay, I get my can of aerosol universal protector. This is for leather shoes and suede shoes. It has to be has to be water based, not silicone based, folks. Silicone ain't worth a damn. Go on, Dennis. Right. So what we do the night before we go fishing, we tie our flies, we get them ready, we spray that fly, drowned in it. Man, that stuff smells. All right. Not the best thing to be doing indoors, folks, but do it outside before you go fishing. The fly is nice and damp. I put the lid back on me dries and I give them a good shake. Okay, all my clinks, dry dropper, stuff like that. Make sure they're well moistened, covered completely in that stuff. All right. Say silicone is no good. Silicone based spray is no good because it protects the materials from the outside in, where a water based spray, which is only for leather and suede shoes, by the way, not for anything else. You get it in Dunn's, you get it in most good shops, supermarkets, stuff like that for leather, or go to a shoe sales shop and they'll give it to you. Once the fly is well covered, bit of holy moly, you can take it out. All right, as you can see, it's quite moist and damp. Where my tweezers is gone, so I can show you kind of a visual of that. Quite moist and damp. Everything's well covered. Yeah, it's a great fly too as well. Yeah, John Shaw. Brilliant. That'd be great, Mark. Love to meet up. Really moist and damp. That thing will dry up by tomorrow. There'll be no scent off it. There'll be no oil slick off it. And I can tell you one thing, folks. That thing will float like crazy after being treated like that. It's absolutely brilliant. So all my clinks, all my dry droppers, they're treated that way. And I even do my dry flies as well. What I do is, sorry, Mark Driver, you've after texted me there on Messenger, and it pops up on my main screen here. So Mark's over in Galway in the Lash at the moment, lads. So good man, Desmond. Desmond Paul is on there. Great to see you on, Desmond Paul. Desmond Paul is one of our Mark, I swear to God, if you text me once more, please stop texting because you're blocking up my main screen. But anyway, you're very welcome, Kieran Sherlock. But I tell you one thing, folks, that's a great fly. That worked really well on the lakes as well this year for some lads, especially if they're fishing small, submerged smuts and little things caught in the surface film. That was either a point fly or a dropper fly, and for visibility. But then I got a load of messages saying, God, I got more fish in that bloody sage than anything else. So really good fly. Didn't really experiment with the foam underneath as regards colours and things like that. But that was the one that worked really class for me. But treating it just made it exceptional for dry dropper. Okay, so really treat it up. It takes 24 hours to dry, so treat it up the night before you go fishing, and then let it dry naturally. And then what I'll do now is I'll actually treat another fly for you between now and next week. I'll let it dry naturally, and then I'll show you how to bring it back to life a little bit. You got to do a little bit of brushing and cleaning up on it once it dries, but there's no scent. There is no oil slick or nothing off it, but it floats like crazy. I fished them without the treatment, and with the treatment, trust me, the treatment's everything. Okay, so a little bit of a round tub like that. A lid on it is very good. Do it outdoors. Don't do it indoors. For your health reasons or whatever else. I'm sure it's not good for you. And I let that dry. I let that fly dry, and then it'll go into the tub for tomorrow's or for the competition to win this weekend's flies, which is, of course, anyone that comments, shares, or likes our video will be in for a draw for this weekend, and they will win all the flies. So we got one more fly left, folks. How we doing? It's 10 to 10, getting near the time. Last fly, lock style. Okay, I tied a lot of lock style flies this year. And Mika powder. And if yeah, we can do that, Graham. We can do that, Graham. Absolutely. So I tied a lot of lock flies this year. Here in Mascara, we tie everything. We tie lock flies, river flies, the whole shebang. And it's been a long season. And in a way, I'm kind of glad that the season's over. You know, it's been a long season. It's hard work, folks, being here on your own and working away and doing the whole lot and between the website, and I look after my two kids, my two beautiful kids as well, and it has been a long year. But this time of the year, like things mellow down a little bit, and I'm able to start connecting a bit more with people and catching up with a few things. So it's great. But we do tie a lot of lock style flies. No worries, Michael. No worries, Michael. It'll be up on YouTube tomorrow, so catch up with YouTube. Um, we do try a lot of flies, lot of flies, and this is one of the ones that stood out for me the most. Over the course of the year that really caught a lot of fish. I didn't get to do much lock style this year, but a lot of my customers did. And this was one that I gotta show you really quickly. Now we're going to have lock style night as well, folks. Which will be lots of other stuff, but this is one that we just say we have to cover. And I'm going to be as quick as I can now for any folks that want to get to bed and want to go have a bit of time with their lovely wives or family. And there's a few people that might even be going fishing tomorrow. I'm half thinking, will I go to Leash Angle Centre tomorrow? I'm in two minds. I say AWOL is coming up, and I could really do with some practice. So I'm half thinking about heading to Leash tomorrow. I'm not sure, but we'll see. So I'll be as quick as I can with this one, right? So, Piscari Fly Kevlar thread on there. It's a Camazan size 10. Here I have a little bit of lime green seals fur. Thanks, Declan. A little bit of lime green seals fur. No, wrong. I got a rib on there first, which is oval silver small. Okay, oval silver small. This show, folks, will be up on YouTube tomorrow at some stage for everybody to watch, and you can go onto our YouTube channel and watch back all our shows. They're still up there from last year to revert back to patterns and tie-ins and different things. So I'm going to secure that in there real quick. I'm going to put on my lime seals for a little bit of beeswax in there, a small little pinch of the lime seals for. Now this fly got used by a couple of customers, and the feedback was fantastic. They got some really good fishing on it. So I said it's one I'm going to share, which is we do have a wet fly night coming up, lock style, and it's the one not to be missed. Little butt there of that lime seals for. Dennis Golan's going to Loughnane tomorrow night. So I haven't been up in Loughnane the last couple of years, Dennis. How was that fishing? How has it been going? So what I'm adding in here now, folks, is a bit of mohair dubbing. Or this is Jan Seaman mohair dubbing. Okay, the color is grass green. Now you can use a bit of seals for green if you want, or if you've got some other kind of dubbing. But this mohair, now I don't have this in the shop, unfortunately, folks. We do have most materials that we tie with in the show, but I'm not afraid to put up something that's really, really good and effective. This mohair dubbing by, especially this particular, it's the only color I have of the mohair dubbing by Yancy Man, but it's so soft and it's such a beautiful color. Not sure if the picture really portrays that for you there now, but that's the main body. Here I've got I'm kind of a medium olive saddle cape here, and I'm going to select a feather off of that one. It's just like kind of a sedgy pattern. I remember a good few years ago being over in the Corrib in September, and I saw sitting on the bank having a cup of tea and a sandwich over in Headford, and I saw this sedge landed, and it had a really limey green kind of body with a really bright butt to it. And this was the fly that kind of developed from there, and then so wind it down the body, take my silver rib and rib up that fly. Happy days. Don't forget, folks, if you're not online tonight, and it'll be tomorrow morning, watch out for that prize. I really want to see those two fly boxes go to an under 18 years old person that's into a bit of stocky bashing this winter. A couple of hundred flies in each box, and free postage, the whole lot. All I need you to do is to share the post and put the person's first name only, please. I don't want any other information. And their name or their age. So, for example, Mary 17, Johnny 12. And we'll do the draw during the week. So we've just brushed that out, and we're going to add in some wings here. So we got some paired hen pheasant wings. One from either side. Marrying them up. Put them in there on top. switch over, pinch, don't pull down. Okay, so when you pinch, don't pull straight down. Wrap around and pull up. That'll keep those feathers and those wings in perfect position, as you can see. Okay, sitting on top, beautifully, beautifully married. If you pull down, that wing will flap over. Okay, if you wrap around and pull up, everything's trapped in place. Okay, we're going to do a nice as well on wings, by the way. There is a night lined up for wings, pairing wings, doing different types of wings. Nice to get out with your good stuff. Best luck tomorrow, Dennis. Nice to get out. So that's the wing of the flight. Okay, we're going to add in a few quick daddy legs, natural pheasant tail here. 3 either side. 1 turn, trap them in. 1 turn, trap them in, as you can see. A few legs is always nice. Oh, that's what happens 1 turn when you turn around. Get that focus there now. When you trap it in 1 turn and then turn it around is you undo the turn. This time I'll give it 2 or 3, well secured in now. Okay. Trim away our waist. Make sure everyone's well secured in and tidied up. Now, we're going to do, we've 2 shoulder hackles here on this fly, folks. So our first one is going to be Chartreuse Grizzle Hen Cape. Okay. A couple of turns there, secure that in. Trim away the waist, get our hackle pliers. Two turns is enough. Don't go too mad on that. That's the under hackle. Make sure it's well secured in. Trim away the waist. Just keep stacking it all back there. Leaving myself plenty of room to get this fly finished. Our main shoulder hackle then is this little bit of, that's all I've left, of this cock. Thanks, Betty. Hope yourself and Michael are keeping well. Little bit of a hen. A little bit of rubbish, really, is the best way of describing it. Came off a hen cape, but fantastic, lovely long cloak and fibres on it. And we're going to add that one in there. Just between the last hackle and the eye of the hook. Nearly there now, folks. Anyone that wants to rush away to bed, don't want to keep these all up too late. Catch the tip. Couple of turns. Wiggle the thread through. Get it secure. I'll clean up that little bit of waist hackle now in a second. Once I make sure everything's safe. Get in there with my fine point scissors. And snip. There we go. Couple of more turns just to make sure everything's well secure. And I got a little bit of black marker here. Thanks, Mark. Really appreciate it, bud. Little bit of black marker. Colour up the pebbler. Whip finish, folks. Small little black head in there. And there we go. That thing got a lot of fish for people this year. The few people that asked for some various sedge patterns and stuff. Real good wave pattern. Nice and bright. Bit of movement away with that nice soft hen hackle on the front. Couple of legs out the back. And fantastic fly. Really is a beautiful fly. Not sure if the picture does this. Thanks, Scott. Not sure if the picture does it justice there. Thanks, Dennis. Thanks, John. Yeah, really nice. Good point there. Good contrast to colours. Yeah, it really has. And you know, that brown cloak over it, and then that little bit of chartreuse green coming through, and that mohair green, grass green there as well on the underbody is a fantastic. Thanks, Kieran Sherlock. So there we have it, folks. Night number one is over, just about. Don't forget, there is more prizes. I will just after the show, give me 2 seconds, and I will post that thing up on Facebook. It's for under 18s only. Let's see those two fly boxes go to someone and that's going to get some use out of them. So please comment on the post, share the post, and all you got to do is comment their name, be it your son, daughter, cousin, nephew, or someone you know, a young person that wants a couple of hundred lake or stocky flies for the winter. I got 2 of these boxes to give away, and they're full of flies. Okay, they're in a bit of a mess. I'm not going to lie to you. They're not all neat and tidy and organised. I've been putting stuff in there for the last couple of weeks, and I really want to see them going to a good home. Okay, someone's going to use them, get a bit of fun out of it. All right, so don't forget that's going to happen after the show. The draw will happen next probably Wednesday or Thursday. For YouTube people, tomorrow, hello. Great to have you back on. The prize also. Log on there to the Facebook. You can also get part of that giveaway. Tonight's flies are all going into that little tub. Everybody that commented tonight, said hello, shared, or liked their post will be in for the draw. Deirdre, when she comes back from County Clare, see you soon, honey. Tomorrow, Tuesday, after the video goes live tomorrow, we'll give 2 days for everyone to catch up. And then on Tuesday, we'll do the draw for all those lovely flies. We'll throw that lake fly in there now as well. That's also going to people. So there's some nice flies there. Mark Driver kindly threw in 2 of his emerges as well. So that's there as well. So please like, comment, share, and you're in for that prize. Huge thanks to all coming back on tonight. Really appreciate it. Great to see so many people back on. Great to be back on live, which is great to see people appreciating it. It encourages me to keep it going, and all your support throughout the year, folks. And the business is absolutely, it's amazing. We get great feedback here. We try our best. We're not perfect in any means, but we do try our best and try and accommodate everyone, give everyone our bit of time. And these shows are our way of saying thank you to you all for your support. So please keep the support coming. We do appreciate it. And we'll keep the shows coming. So next week, we got another great show lined up. We got special guests. We got a whole lot. Watch out this week on Facebook and you'll see what we're going to do. I'm going to head away now, folks. So good night to you all. I hope you all have a good week. And thanks for watching, everyone. And see you all next Saturday night at 8:30 p.m. Take care.